quad bikes, so we are here.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else knows what to do. That's why I spend my life with you. I wanna please you any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is no one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give it all day long. Your love is no one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling.
Hi guys, welcome to another day of the vlog. So today we're going for a really fun day at countryside. As you can see, the view is very beautiful. So the trees are green. Yeah, you can see that it has been raining. So the vegetation is red. You can see the view. So wait for a family fun day. So I'm gonna take you with me to this family fun day. So we're going to have fun. There are a lot of activities that are taking place there. So hopefully I'll be able to share all of that here on camera with you guys. So I'm so excited. Like I said yesterday, the day before, that this November is epic. November is epic, guys. So hopefully we're gonna end it in a nice way. Look at this beautiful house. Wow. So we're almost there. It's kind of on the outskirts. It's a bit far. So there's another.
Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. It's not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist. We can get away from chase beach views and every day. All I wanna hear is an episode that we play. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you. Think I wish away. Really wanna, I just wanna get away. Sit right next to you. I don't wanna kiss you. Yeah, I just wanna feel you. Feel you. I want you around.
Yeah, hi guys. We have arrived at the family accommodation. Just finishing up as this the sound of the bags. So we are here. So
I swear it's time to keep these feelings to myself. Now you're the one I'm thinking of. My higher ground, my rocket love. For gravity, I'd rather stay up here. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views on a night day. All I wanna hear is an visions that we play. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you. Think I wish away. Really wanna, I just wanna get away. Sit right next to you. It's you that I just wanna feel you. I want you around, around. I want you around, around. I want you
Gonna be big.
You just try. And then you show it to him.
It's not that I want you here. It's not the way you say it to my eyes. I know that I can make things clear.
winner is HQ. Saya hafu kwa HQ over saya hafu kwa ring. HQ na 2 points.
It's not that I want you here. Yeah. It's not the way you say it to my eyes. I know that I can make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist. Can't get away. On trees, beach views, and every day. All I wanna do is in the pictures on replay. Right next to you. You do. Try not to show. How I feel about you. You wish you were. You don't really want to. I just wanna get away. And stay right next to you. I wanna kiss you. Yeah, I just wanna feel you. Feel you. I want you around. Around. I want you around.
Tired and I'm going home. The fun day is not yet over, but it's time for me to go because there were lots of fun and so many activities.
Wanna kiss you, yeah, I just wanna feel you, feel you.
Guys, welcome back again and again. Okay. Don't make me go. Don't you test my patience.
Oh,
Welcome
so hard.
to Sisipit. Hey, welcome to the first day. You never the whole color.
Hard.
Man, I can't accept this. Don't let me go. Don't you just my patience.
So it's a,
Get it how we going to
oh.
how
Hi guys.
your head is like this.
Hi guys, it's a Saturday. Hi guys, it's a Saturday, so I'm running errands. I just finished errand number 1. I'm sending out a parcel. Hi guys, welcome to the vlog, and today is a Saturday. It's a Saturday morning, and I went out. I'm running errands as usual. Saturdays are for going up and down, so I just finished errand number 1, which is sending out a parcel. So it's here. I just mailed it out, and from here I'm feeling kind of hungry. I didn't have breakfast, and you know I'm on intermittent fasting, so I'm thinking, because yeah, it's almost towards breaking the fast, so I'm really thinking of a smoothie, and there's a fruit and veg nearby. So what I'm thinking is to go in there and check if they have any smoothies. If they don't have, option number 2 would be to check Spa, because last week I found a very nice, delicious banana and avocado smoothie at Spa. So I'm thinking to check here. If it's not there, then we go to Spa. Then I will go to Spa to check if they have something there. And yeah, that's that for today. So I'll catch up with you guys later. Bye. No smoothie, guys. Everywhere we checked, most shops, we checked the fruit and veg and also Spa. They don't have the smoothie that I was looking for, so instead we got ice cream. It's even melting. It's so hot, guys. The ice cream is just melting on its own. That is so good. It's a chicken leg and ice cream. It's one of the best ice cream. I love their cones. The cones are so unique, different. You can't find them anywhere else except chicken leg. You can see that the color is rich. And the ice cream is so smooth. Very nice. And on to the next.
This ring here represents my heart, but there's just one thing I need from you. Say I do, because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You could be my baby, let me make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. Now if I wrote you a love note and made you smile at every word I wrote, what would you do? wanna change your scene and wanna be the one on my team. Tell me what you see. What's the point in waiting anymore? Cause girl, I've never been more sure that baby it's you. This ring here represents my heart and everything that you've been waiting for. Just say I do, because I can see it.
Welcome to Star Talk, your place in the universe where science and pop culture collide. Star Talk begins right now. I'm your host, Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist, and this is Star Talk. This is a special edition of Star Talk. It's our Valentine's Day edition.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about love.
Oh, yes.
No, live. L-U-U-U-U-V. And I know we could probably handle that our own, but we bring in some expertise.
Yes.
And we're going to bring in Helen Fisher. She's been on Star Talk before, and a new book, Anatomy of Love.
The Anatomy of Love.
And what color is it? It's red.
Well, not mine.
A red cover. Helen Fisher, you're like the world's expert on love, marriage, relationships. You work for the Kinsey.
I'm at the Kinsey Institute. But
the Kinsey Institute. This is the famous Kinsey.
This is the famous Kinsey who really studied love. He did. Yeah, he was very good. Way before everybody else did, he did.
Excellent. And in this edition, this is.
But sex. He actually studied a lot of sex more than he did love.
Sex.
Yeah, we really broke into studying love. I mean, people really thought this was part of the supernatural, part of the stars.
But what's love got to do with it?
Exactly.
Everything. People pine for it, live for it, kill for it, and die for it. It's one of the most powerful brain systems on
Wait a
earth.
minute. Is that love or sex we're talking
I know.
Because what you just said, everybody.
That's sex. We agree. We agree that happens for sex.
I don't think if you ask somebody to go to bed with you and they say no thank you, you don't kill yourself. But around the world,
Speak
people
for yourself,
kill.
Helen. Gotta tell
People
you,
kill.
take rejection well.
Yeah, nobody takes rejection well, and nobody gets out of love alive. Nobody.
Ooh.
You know,
You
we
have
all
some scars.
suffer. As a matter of fact,
Man.
it's an addiction. You know, a very powerfully wonderful addiction when it's going well, and a perfectly horrible addiction when it's going poorly. But anyway, you know, you say, is it a sex or is it love? I've mentioned this to you before. I think we've evolved three distinctly different brain systems for mating and reproduction. One is a sex drive, one is feelings of intense romantic love, and the third is feelings of deep attachment. And I think people
I got
go,
1 out of 3. Not bad. Not
What
bad.
is this now?
All right. So for this edition of Star Talk, we've solicited questions from our fan base through our various media platforms, and they're all about sort of Valentine's Day and love.
Yes.
And all that goes with it.
Yes.
Love. I have one love anecdote just to start off with. In the medical community, there's a disease of lovemaking, which is collectively called venereal diseases, and that is actually named after Venus.
Really?
The goddess of love.
Oh.
So the genitive
Venereal.
form of Venus is Venera.
Right.
And in fact, the Russian space missions to Venus were all called Venera. Venera 1, Venera 2, Venera 3. The medical doctors said, oh, here's a disease peculiar to lovemaking and love and beauty and all that go with it. Let's name it after Venus. So they call them venereal diseases. Then we astronomers came along and said, we need a name of an alien who might be from Venus. We're not going to call them venereals now because the word is taken.
Exactly.
So we had to invent a non-legitimate word. And so you're Venusian if you're from Venus. But you should be venereal.
Venereal. Oh, okay.
When the venereals come,
Great.
Say, I'm a Venusian.
oh, yes, yeah, say you're
You're
Venusian.
man.
You get a little further in the social ladder if you're.
Cool thing about that is doctors gave us the term for VD, which actually is the same Valentine's Day as VD as well. Which,
Wow.
Ouch.
right, think about it.
Ouch.
Valentine's Day, venereal disease.
Ouch, Chuck.
Wait a minute. There's good parts of this Valentine's Day. We're all fun.
Okay, we're just laying the.
I'm just saying, it's never been a good day for me.
No, me neither. I'm always working on that day. Yeah.
So, Chuck, you got some questions.
Yes.
None of us have seen them, and Helen is here to. I'm just here to direct them to Helen because what the hell do I know?
Yeah, these are our cosmic queries, of course, like you said.
Cosmic queries.
Taken from all over the internet. So let's start off with Chris Reed coming to us from Twitter. CD Reed is his handle. Evolution is about the natural selection of traits. How has love evolved, and what traits were left behind? So that's a really good question.
I know.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
And I wonder if I can add to that.
Yeah.
If, we think of love as distinctly human, but
Right.
does this preclude other animals, especially other mammals,
Right.
from having the same sentiment? And why else would we say, oh, look at the love birds?
Right.
We would analogize our love to what we know are two birds.
So there's three
with their
questions
beaks.
really on the table, and let me start with the evolution of it and the brain. I put people in brain scanners and study the brain circuitry of romantic love.
That's what scares me about you. But
Yeah.
go on.
Nice.
Well, I wouldn't say,
Talk about your foreplay. Oh,
Let me put your mate in the brain scanner, see if he really does love you.
girl, go ahead and get in that brain scanner. 'Cause that's how we starting this off tonight.
That's right.
You getting in a brain scanner. That's what we doing.
Yeah. You can know every ingredient in a piece of chocolate cake, and then when you sit down and eat that cake, you feel that joy. In the same way, I can know everything you can know about love and still make the same mistakes everybody
Well, just to be
else
clear,
can, and,
to guys, chocolate cake is really just chocolate cake.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, just
maybe to you.
that's true.
it's just chocolate cake.
This is a brain system. It came from other mammals. It came from other birds. All kinds of animals feel attraction to certain creatures and not attraction to others. Too old, too young, too feathers out of order.
Too anything.
Antlers too big, too little, et cetera, et cetera. You don't want
God,
it.
I know that part.
So the bottom line is we did evolve.
Your antlers out of this.
Sorry.
I want to see your antlers. Show me your antlers. Anyway, the bottom line is this brain system came out of nature. So long before mankind came down out of the trees, began to stand up on 2 feet, began to need to form pair bonds to rear their young, and the brain circuitry for romantic love began to evolve in order to make us focus on one particular individual and start the mating process. But you can see that in other mammals, particularly ones that form pair bonds. You'll see an immediate attraction of one animal for another, and they're going for it. In fact, this is the evolution of love at first sight.
Is it attraction or is it just they want to mate? How do you distinguish the two? Did you ask them?
There's actually academic studies that when a female chimpanzee, for example, is in heat and in estrus, she'll copulate with actually almost all of the males, but there's some she won't copulate with, and it's because she doesn't like them.
Because he's a real a-hole, that guy.
Man.
The bottom line is these are different systems, and just the sex drive will get you out there looking, but then it's romantic love or attraction in other animals, or magnetism, just animal magnetism, that enables you to sift between all these other animals and focus on the one that works for you. So
It's one thing
it does
if
come out
they
of-
don't sleep with you because they're sleeping with only one other person, but they're sleeping with everybody
else
and
but
not you.
That's bad.
That's
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's all bad.
Didn't they just find out that the reason the pandas that they had wherever in San Francisco that they've been trying to mate, that the reason they didn't mate was because the female
like
didn't
each
like
other.
the male?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
They
go.
just assume you put the man.
Assume that all pandas
That
were
is
cool
a
with one
really
another.
important point.
Yeah.
Because no animal on this planet will copulate with anything that comes along. They all have preferences. And we evolved that system for preferences. And then, of course, when we began to stand up on 2 legs, females began to have to carry their babies in their arms instead of on their backs. They began to need someone to help them out, at least while they raised the child through infancy. And so this brain circuitry for animal attraction evolved into what we call today romantic love.
Is there anything that was left behind, like the questioner asked?
Oh, that's a
Right.
beautiful question. Nobody's ever asked me. Sure, the ability to share. We're not an animal that shares very well. We're a jealous animal.
Wow.
I mean, I was talking last night to some people who are polyamorous, and they really
just-
have to work
which
very
means-
hard to keep their.
Which means
Several partners?
These people actually believe that you can have several partners. You keep on-
Swingers, baby.
Swingers are the sex. They're swinging for sex. Polyamorous are
relationships.
yes.
So they're
romantic. So they want to keep their deep attachment to one partner, and then have a lot of romances on the side. And they say they can overcome this jealousy and the self-deception and all, but they
Lying.
can't. They work
They're
very
lying.
hard on it. But the bottom line is no. We're not a good animal. We don't share well. And of course,
saying-
we're also cheaters. I mean, it's an example.
So in the Mormon tradition of multiple wives for the
Right.
men, then you're saying there might be an evolutionary force that makes that not stable because they've been
stable.
doing it for 100-something
Yeah,
years.
86% of world cultures permit a man to have several wives. But actually,
in the wrong place.
Yeah, I don't know. It can be a toothache. I can tell you that. It can be a real panic. I think I told you last time. I knew a man in Highlands of New Guinea who had 3 wives, and when I asked him how many he wanted, he said none.
No, there you go. Be careful what you wish
It can
for.
be a toothache. Yeah.
Right. Plus, as I understand it, historically, in particular the Middle East, I've come to understand it, that was initially put forth as protection for women, so that if you actually got romantically involved with a woman, you had to then take care of her.
Exactly.
And so, it was a matter of accountability for who you were.
It was also ecological reasons, but most societies permit a man to have several wives, but only about 5 or 10% of men in almost all cultures actually have several wives, because you got to have a lot of money, a lot of cows, a lot of sheep, a lot of education or something to get 2 women to share you.
So, are there any cultures where a woman has multiple husbands?
Only very few. Among the very rich of southern Alaska, traditionally, these people lived in these archipelagos, and the men went out fishing every.
To be the native peoples of Alaska, not
Native
the
peoples of Alaska, yes. And a woman.
Not Sarah Palin.
That's
I don't know. If she,
I have 4 husbands. You betcha.
you betcha. Say that.
But it's very impractical from a Darwinian perspective, because if a woman is sharing several men, she can't have a baby every 9 months. Whereas if a man has several wives, he could have a lot of babies.
You have 4 babies at one time.
Yeah.
One time,
or more. But the problem with polygyny, poly meaning many, gyne meaning women, is that the women fight. Sometimes they try to poison each other's children.
Not my problem.
Yeah, that's right. Keep it that way.
Yeah, I'm the husband. You guys do your thing. Don't come bother me with your petty squabbles.
To bond is human. We're a pair bonding animal, but we're also an animal that cheats. And we seem to do both. And I think one of the great 21st century issues is, to what degree do we want intimacy with one individual, and what degree do we want autonomy? That great balance between the two is something we all have to wrestle with.
And what intrigues me is how we cherry pick the animal kingdom to use as examples of how we want to behave. So we'll say, an eagle will mate for life.
Swans.
Oh, they'll mate for life. Okay, well, but how about what's the one that just has sex as often as it can with as many other...
all of them.
all the rest of them.
The rest of them.
Oh, the rest of them.
Even eagles. Eagles. Even swans. We have not found
the naked mole rat. The naked mole rat has 2 subspecies. One of them mates for life. The other is just whores. They whore themselves.
Same thing
out.
with the prairie vole. Yeah,
the prairie vole. Sorry, maybe that's what I meant.
Yes.
Not the naked mole
some
rat.
of them, and we know the genes of that, the genetics of that. And then you take one of the genes from one of those prairie voles that does mate for life, and put them in a non-pair bonding mouse or something, and it'll start to form a pair bond too.
So
there is biology to feelings of attachment. Yes.
Well, they put the attachment gene in the ones that would not otherwise be attached.
Yes.
But how about the wandering gene? Does that make them wander?
We haven't really found a wandering gene. We found genes in which you attach less. There's one gene in which if you have no copies of that gene, you're the most among men. Actually, it's a study of men.
Most promiscuous.
The least promiscuous. One gene, they're going to be more promiscuous, and 2 genes that are going to be actually not promiscuous, but in unstable relationships that are going to lead to promiscuity. So we're finding something. But you know what? That doesn't.
Promiscuity coefficient.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that should come out in the speed dating rounds, right? What is your?
But you know what? It's important. Even though we have predispositions, you can say no to them. Because
we live in civilization. That's why.
Yeah, you can. People can be quit their bad habits.
Yeah. And then some of it is called age for men as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just...
Wait, but just to be clear, they're not habits if we're genetically predisposed. So you can overcome a genetic predisposition because we live in civilization where certain conduct is necessary.
Very well said.
And then you just get too
old. It's amazing how many people don't, though. I mean, I've looked at adultery in 42 societies, and you find it even in places where you can get your head chopped off.
Right. It's not even adultery. There's murder. There's transgressions of a society.
Well, that's. I think that most of our crimes of passion come because people they've lost a true love. They've lost, from a Darwinian perspective, they've lost life's greatest prize, which is a mating partner.
Wow.
Yeah.
They need to rethink some things. That's what I'm saying.
You got another question.
Let's move on. That
right,
was
let's do it.
fascinating stuff, man. All right, let's get down to, here's one from the Teen Poet.
Okay.
Coming to us from Twitter.
It's a Twitter handle. Okay.
It's a Twitter handle, at the Teen Poet 322. Wants to know, is human love more than chemical reactions, as in Interstellar's unrealistic ending? Well, thanks for the critique inside the question.
Just in case people missed that moment in Interstellar,
right.
where Anne Hathaway's character says, maybe, I'm paraphrasing, love is something that transcends even dimensions.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's love that they're using to communicate with us through basically space and time.
Yeah, through the space-time
The
continuum.
space-time continuum.
Yeah.
Love is the language that transcends the space-time.
So if I can tighten the question, how much of your research tells us that love is just electrochemical in your brain and it's nothing more or less than that?
Well, bottom line is everything is electrical and chemical in your brain. I mean, everything,
Okay.
you think of anything, do anything, feel anything, any kind of drive, thirst, hunger, all of them.
So Chuck, it doesn't permeate the fabric
then
of
we
the space-time
create-
continuum.
No, it can't. And now my heart is broken.
And then we make a whole lot of things out of it, and we make beautiful things. I mean, all of the love poetry from around the world. I mean, all our plays, our poems, our novels, our sitcoms, our ballets, our operas, our theater, our myths, our legends. I mean, the world
Don't
is
forget porn.
cluttered.
Don't forget porn.
I'm so sorry.
Don't forget porn.
That was conspicuously absent from that list.
We got it in there. Chuck, thank you.
But why isn't that just the spectrum of human emotion, of which love is one?
Right. It's actually a drive.
element.
It's the brain.
So is hate. Hate is as big a drive as love.
No question about it. In fact,
Okay.
they're not even the opposites. The opposite of love is indifference.
Ooh, that's deep.
not
Look
hate.
at that.
That's
Yeah.
deep.
In fact, you can hate and love somebody at the same time.
Oh, now that
I had a-
explains my parents.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That way you get the frenemy. The frenemy.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a
okay.
wonderful girlfriend who said of her husband, it was a wonderful marriage, but she said, you know what, sometimes I hate him, but I always love him. And so these are different brain systems, and you can flop from one to the other. It's indifference. That's when you are when you've killed the passion. But you know what? It's a drive. This is not even an emotion. It emanates from a little factory in the base of the brain that lies right next to the brain regions that orchestrate thirst and hunger. Because this is so essential to survival, and it has been for so long. Because if you don't have babies, you don't form a pair bond, you don't pass your DNA on to
There it is. That's the end of your line.
So it's basically the second greatest driving force in our being, which the first is gotta eat.
Yeah. Eating makes you live another day. Having sex will make you live genetically.
Make you want to live another day. Right.
That is for sure.
That's how you really got to
Good for
do
you,
it.
by the way. Sex is really good for you if it's with the right person.
Preach it to the choir, baby.
Well, I think so. It is reducible in a fundamental way. I came up with 3 in the list. So
Okay.
there's sex, there's food, sex, and shelter. Were
sex,
3
and
things that we need for our survival.
Right.
And so we ought to be pretty energetic in the acquisition of those 3.
Absolutely.
And also, if you
I've
don't,
never seen anybody kill themselves when they couldn't get something to eat. But I've certainly seen people kill themselves when they couldn't get a particular sweetheart.
couldn't get the love.
Yeah, I don't think you go around. Well, you might go around murdering somebody for bread, in the right place when you're
That's-
starving. But
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah.
That's,
yeah. You would kill in the
kill
name.
kill
You won't
yourself.
kill yourself, you kill somebody else, and that's
Right.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet there's our jails are much more filled with people who have committed a crime of passion. I mean, these are powerful brain systems. What people will do for love is out of this world.
Okay.
And particularly around right now, I am the chief scientific advisor to Match.com, and between the day after Christmas and Valentine's Day, the amount of people going onto that site and other sites increases everywhere from 30 to 60%. This is the time. This is the season for love.
You're listening to Star Talk. Stay tuned for another segment.